I'm ready for some nonsense. It's a great Saturday. I don't know how it is where you are, but here it's sunny, it's warm. We went apple picking just a few hours ago, and it was just amazing. My chickens are out there laying eggs. Everything's happening here, and I don't know about you, but I feel like this past week there's been a shift in the winds. I don't know. I feel like there's a shift in momentum here. I mean, the week started off so perfect. We had Russell Moore get bumped from CNN. He was about to go worship the state or something. Who knows what he was about to say. And he got bumped because Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. And then that made every liberal and their mother lose their mind. I laughed way too much this week at people in their cars doing their little selfies, screaming like banshees, because Ruth Bader Ginsburg chose to not die earlier so that she could have been replaced by Obama. Instead, she's going to end up being replaced by this Catholic woman, which is going to be hilarious. People are going to lose their minds. What a racist. She has 2 black kids. I mean, can you think of someone more racist than that? Anyway, so they're all worried about their ability to kill their children being infringed or something like that. I don't know, but it was beautiful. So Russell Moore gets bumped from CNN, and then later in the week, Gabe Wrench from Cross Politic, my brother, my boy, the Fight Laugh Feast man himself, he's on Fox News. And it's so funny because Marcus Pittman noticed this before. You know, all these Big Eva goons, they're selling their souls to go worship the state on CNN and MSNBC. But all they had to do was be faithful if they really wanted to get on TV. And so it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I don't know about you, but I feel like there's a lot of momentum. We've got some traction. We've got Big Eva on the run right now. I think they're in the process of abandoning social media altogether because they just fail at it consistently. And there's nothing in it for them. There's nothing in it for the Guild. You know, when you're in the Guild, you like the Guild protection. But then when you go out into the public square, right, and you go out into Twitter or to anything like that, you lose that Guild protection. And all of a sudden, yokels like me can challenge you. And, you know, if you get enough support, you have to respond to it. And so the Guild protection isn't really valuable when you have an even playing field like social media. So I think, frankly, they're probably in the process of just giving up altogether. But we'll see. We'll see. And so let's listen to this clip here from J.D. Greear. That's what I wanted to get to. If you're not already following him, this is Woke Preacher TV on Twitter, at Woke Preacher TV on Twitter. There is some good stuff here. He curates these clips, and there's some amazing clips here. We've got one. There's one with Jamar Tisby talking about how religious freedom isn't fair because all it really is about is white people doing what they want to do. It doesn't include Muslims and Jewish people. It's like, you know, Jamar in Jamar land, you know, Christianity is the white man's religion. That's where he's at. That's where his head's at. But anyway, let's listen to this. J.D. Greear. They're talking about what happens when another, you know, the media publicizes another black person getting shot by a white cop. Those racial incidents. What happens after that? Let's talk about it. Well, hold on. I got to get my audio set up here so it doesn't blow up your ears. Let's check this out. All right, let's listen to the wisdom from J.D. Greear and two black people, because it doesn't really matter who they are, right? Like, we're just looking for black voices. We're just elevating black voices. So, you know, who cares?
Things happen. You know, I think a lot of us, our kind of gut reaction is, well, let's wait for the facts. Yeah. You know, we don't know. And we certainly have seen illustrations where, you know, there's been a rush to judgment. But I just feel like, I feel like you have a different reaction when you hear that. Just wait for the facts. I mean, you're not saying it's healthy to rush to judgment or let's throw due process out the window, are you? I mean, help us process that. Yeah.
If you notice, the white man is in charge of this conversation. So this is just more, you know, centering whiteness. I've heard that. That's what this is. This is centering white. He's even in the center, as you can see. Everything's focused on the white perspective. But he asks a good question. He's like, "Well, you saying to rush to judgment?" You know, that kind of thing. Let's see what this black guy has to say.
Yeah, that's a great question, JD. Dr. Tim Muehlhoff, who actually graduated from UNC, he's a professor at Biola University, PhD in communications. He's popularized something called the communication pyramid, which to simplify says there's 5 levels of communication.
The communication pyramid. That sounds like a scam. I'm just gonna say it. It sounds like a scam. Let's listen to it because it could be good. I mean, there were pyramids in Bible times, right? I guess this could be okay.
The most superficial level is cliche, and it's good morning, how are you? I mean, we've communicated, but we really haven't communicated. Next 2 levels are where most guys hang out. It's what I call sports center talk. Level 2 is facts, sharing what you know. Who won the game?
I don't watch SportsCenter.
Who's the greatest of all time? Michael Jordan, of course. Right. Level 3 is opinion. It's sharing what you think. But levels 4 and level 5.
That's I don't know if he represented that correct, because saying that Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, that seems more of opinion. So that's more level 3 than level 2. But, hey, this is all made up anyway, so what's the difference?
5 are the deepest levels of communication that really are valuable in helping me to gauge how me and my wife are doing, how our friendships are doing, how we're dealing with issues of reconciliation. Level 4 is emotive.
Emotions.
Sharing what I feel, and level 5 is transparent.
I don't know. Did you notice that? Did you notice that cut? This is too good, man. Oh, maybe I'm a nut, but correct me if I'm wrong. But he says level 4 is emotive, and the editor of this video instantly changes the camera angle to the woman. Did you catch? Is that just me? Level 4 is emotive, right to the woman. Let's check this out. See if he did
Motive.
look like God, this is too good.
How me and my wife are doing, how our friendships are doing, how we're dealing with issues of
this.
reconciliation.
Here it comes.
Level 4 is emotive, sharing what I feel,
and patriarchy. Oh man, I think about this stuff too much. I really do. This woke stuff has really ruined my life. It's ruined my life. You notice that was patriarchy right there. So number 1, this is centering whiteness. The whole thing is centering whiteness. You got J.D. Greear in the middle. He's guiding the conversation. And then, just to make sure that the intersectionals are perfect, they talk about emotion. The black guy speaks first. The woman hasn't even spoken yet. Talk about emotion and instantly switch to the woman. Check this out.
Deepest levels of communication that really are valuable in helping me to gauge how me and my wife are doing, how our friendships are doing,
that's right.
How we're dealing with issues of reconciliation. Level 4 is emotive, sharing what I feel, and level 5 is transparency. It's sharing who you are. So when these things happen, racial events, you need to know, because again, African Americans are communal people, we immediately go level 4.
So you do rush to judgment. So you're immediately at the emotion. This is the thing. It's like, well, first of all, he said, well, African Americans are a communal people, as if there's any kind of person that's not a communal person. Like, this is just ridiculous. There are white tribes, there are black tribes, there are yellow tribes. People are communal people. We're made in the image of God, so we're all communal people. Of course, there's a few loners out there. I get it. But he's trying to make this distinction between blacks they're just all communal, so we got to go to the emotions.
Grieving together. This is how we feel. And for our white brothers and sisters to hang out in lawyer land, level 2 is not a recipe for unity, for empathy, or oneness. It took me about 5 years of marriage to figure out. When my wife...
Wait, white people are hanging out in lawyer land, and we're over here being communal people and emotions. Well, I guess law degrees pay more than emotional degrees. That's probably why, because white people are all about that, all about drip, They're all about getting those stacks, and so that's why they're hanging out in lawyer land, because, that's where the money is. I guess you don't get paid very well for emotions. I don't know. But this is pretty racist. They're just sitting here, JD's there like, yeah, that's right, I'm in lawyer land.
Wife comes to me in level 4. And I hang out in lawyer land. Like, that's never worked well for me.
Explain about what
Did you notice what he's done here? He's put this is so weird. Okay, so let me just say this. Let me just say this at the outset. Like, these are not my beliefs, right? I'm just interpreting them, so don't get mad at me. But if you notice, the cameraman and he has put level 4 emotive in the category of woman, in the category of female, right? We saw the edit, and we saw how he's talking about it with his wife. And now he's putting black people in the category of level 4, level 5, and white people up here in level 2, level 3. So if you've noticed what he's done here, he's put males and whites in the same kind of category, like in the lead kind of patriarchy category, and blacks and female in that submissive category where they're more in the emotional state. That's twisted, man. When you're making stuff up, like, you get into trouble like this. This is very paternalistic. This is very, like, you're infantilism and you're making blacks and Latinos and POCs look like they're the submissive, they're the weaker vessel, in other words. They're like the weaker vessel. And I think critical theory does this automatically, but, like, he can't even help it. Listen to this. This is very
Not
twisted.
a recipe for unity or empathy or oneness. It took me about 5 years of marriage to figure out.
Right.
When my wife comes to me in level 4,
Right. Level 4.
and I hang out in lawyer land, like
He's in lawyer
that's
land.
never worked well
Right.
for me.
Explain about what she's doing.
So he's the man of the house in lawyer land, and his wife's in level 4, and he's comparing that to whites and blacks. Like, listen, guys, when you make stuff up, you say stuff that's like, yeah, that's not true. Listen, I'm a Latino, 100% Latino, and I can tell you that my relationship to white people is not like my relationship to my wife or my wife's relationship to me. White people are not my head. White people are not my federal head. I don't submit to white people unless they're, my pastor or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is so twisted. when you're making stuff up, man, it just gets crazy real quick.
Right. And so if I want to experience oneness with my wife,
oneness with
I'm
you.
not saying there's not a place for facts.
Right.
But facts as a first resort, while it may work in a court, it doesn't work in the theater of human relationships.
Right.
So let me first drop down to level 4 and feel
No.
before we resurface later on and get to the facts.
Yeah.
No,
lot of time-
no, because it never works that way. It never works that way. That's very naive. Because what happens is you stay in the level 4. So when these racial incidents happen, you stay in level 4 forever, and then it just changes the narrative. Then the facts never end up mattering, because we've seen it so many times. Like in all these situations, like in the Breonna Taylor situation right now, we saw what happened, and the media wanted us to get all mad and stuff, and then we're like, then we started realizing, oh yeah, she was part of this drug ring, and oh yeah, she was not like separated from this, and oh yeah, well, they did knock, and oh yeah, her boyfriend shot first, and oh yeah, like, but we never get around to the facts. Like the facts, those are all the facts, but we're still like, no, they were hunting blacks. And the same thing with George Floyd. It's like you get all pissed off because there's another black guy dead, and then you're like, yeah, oh yeah, he was high as a kite. Oh yeah, the cop didn't actually kill him. Oh yeah, like he died because he was high as a kite. And you never actually get around to going to the facts. And so that would be nice. Maybe, if your wife is crying, you want to like console her because she's your wife first, and then figure out why she's crying. Yeah, that might work in a marriage, but when it comes to one of these like these lynch mobs that go around burning businesses down and shooting cops and stuff like that, like actually you got to get to the facts fairly quickly. Plus, we've been duped so many times at this point, so it's like, well, I'm not going to even react anymore until I see what's going on. That's where I'm at. You see, because if your wife comes to you and she's crying, and consistently it's the same lie over and over again, she's lying to you. She says, oh man, such and such happened. I was, abducted by an alien. And you were like, yeah, but you've been here the whole time. I know you weren't abducted by an alien. And she does it again and again and again and again. Like you feel for her, but you want to get her help. You want to get her some kind of help, because you can see that she's actually not telling you the truth. My wife, this has not happened in my family, so don't say that. But anyway, but if you get duped consistently by the media over and over and over again, you'd have to be an idiot to jump to level 4 the next time you see a black person get shot by a white cop on national news. Because the chances of the story being true that they've told you at this point is as close to 0 as you could possibly get. It's as close to 0 as you could possibly get. It's never what they say it is. It's never what they say it is. And so this clip here is just trying to how do we get you to go along with our crusade here without you thinking and staying in lawyer land, like essentially like God requires you, because you have to hear things out. You can't join the lynch mob. You can't do these kinds of things. I'm not going to listen to part 2 because this is very uncomfortable for me because of the way he's framed this and the way he's trying to make blacks and Latinos into the woman in a marriage relationship. Like, there's nothing wrong with women, but like that's not how the relationship between blacks and whites work. There's nothing wrong with the marriage household where the man is the head of the household and the woman is submitting to the man and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that hierarchy. Hierarchies are great, but that's really not what the hierarchy is when it comes to blacks and whites. Not sure why this guy, whatever his name is saying that, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, and it makes me uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go play with my kids. I hope you have a great weekend. God bless.